Hey all, and welcome back to the HSC playthrough of The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Our next destination lies far to the west in Gerudo Desert, but before we do that we have a little bit of fun here around the eastern region. You see that blue flag on the minimap down there? That's what we're aiming towards, because Mexi says there is perhaps a little dungeon that we could find.
It's kind of nice in this game that not only did they bring back like dungeons, how we just finished up the Jabul, all that Zora shenanigans, but if you are a very fanatical fan of A Link to the Past like I am, and you wanted to revisit some of the locations since it is just the same map, this game highly rewards that kind of like nostalgic exploration. So this area is just kind of one big fan servicey Easter egg with a lot of reward for actually like going here.
Yeah, and we got a good echo to start things off. Hopefully this dude is a little bit faster than our other fighter. Where are you at? You're around here somewhere, still wanting that sword thing. It's fine. Sword mobbing. Yeah.
It is the benefit of the Sword Moblin that their attack rate is probably the best out of the three. The only negative is just that it's not as long range as the Archer Moblin, but I mean, basic problem solving skills here, people. Like, just pick your Moblin as necessary, and yeah, if you make it all the way to Eastern Temple, Eastern Palace, pick your translation. But yeah, the first dungeon, where you get the first pearl in A Link to the Past, is still here. Still looks almost exactly the same, and is still accessible. We can head on inside. Like, I love Echoes of Wisdom, like, up the ante when it came to, like, oh, you love this game? Show us. How much do you love this game? And it's really good. It's good game design.
Indeedy so. I guess we can clearly see these statue things. They're not lions. They're goblins with big old noses, apparently.
They got that Squidward modern art painting face on them.
Ooh, Sparkers.
So while they may look like they're just a hazard to dodge, this is an enemy, and you can turn them into an echo, and they're kind of the echo of the dungeon, so to speak, your dungeon item.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I seem to recall, like, bombs and even the boomerang having major crazy properties in the 2D Zeldas.
It all just kind of goes back to Zelda 1. Hell, there are some enemies that are susceptible to music damage, so, like, Zelda 1 has always had weird, intricate enemy weaknesses to it. Like, people always be like, OMG, I can burn an enemy in Breath of the Wild. It's like, buddy, you could make an enemy's ears explode back in a 16-bit era video game, so I hate to break it to ya.
Oh, man. That was the Pole's voice, right?
Yeah, like, even their name just kind of has a sound-based thing to it. Then they brought it back in the Oracle games, where you could use the companion horn that you had. It was the one use outside of summoning your friend. You could use it as your music item to destroy Pole's voices.
Get tabled. Definitely not what I meant to pick. It's fine.
At least you picked up the echo at the beginning of the dungeon and just use it to make all the puzzles 10 times easier. I went through this dungeon not realizing that I could kill the sparks until I think I was already done. And like, I had to go back and be like, oh, I was supposed to take this with me.
How did you even get through the dungeon then? Because you need something electrical to activate the things.
I was using the environment sparks. I was just using the blocks to create new paths for the sparks to go on, because, I mean, spoilers, no spoilers, the boss is going to involve you needing to corral something that's moving around the walls as well, too. So I just kind of took it as a big Nintendo doing their practice this skill. You're going to need it.
Okay, interesting. Come here, you. Alright, I see you've got game.
But can you survive an explosion? He hopped right over that. I didn't even think it was possible.
Yo, he got serious game. Yeah, just drop spikes on the fucker. There you go, Tom. Oh, did you see that? The spike hurt the shock.
It is the ultimate echo. I wasn't 100% sure, but it is kind of just one of those, if you time it out right, yep, you can just spike just about everything to death.
The Caramodillo level 2.
And now we're getting the level up echoes. Like, if some echoes weren't redundant enough, now good echoes are fully just getting replaced by leveled up versions of themselves, and they're laid out as separate echoes, I think, on some of these. Like, I'm with you, dude. Hashtag give me sort button.
Oh, almost.
Here's your teaching of how the electricity interacts with the water as well. We took care of most of the water-based shenanigans of the game. There's still going to be some in the future because they'll use the water a lot in the still world pre-dungeon areas. So we're still going to deal with a lot of water, but in terms of like a dungeon surrounding it, we kind of already took care of that. Just because I feel like you can probably just do this dungeon whenever. Like, you can fully have this be your first stop. So, like, I'm sure they kind of gauged it.
Hello. What, you talk? At long last, a visitor. I was absolutely starved for company. Let's play a game, shall we? I'll make the first move. Just try to keep up. Okay, well, you're shooting electricity at me, so I'm going to throw down some more spikes. Oh, interesting. Suppose I shouldn't really be surprised that he can do this.
He is a boss, after all. A reoccurring boss, though, because this is just a big old cameo from Oracle of Ages. I think this guy was like the boss of the third, maybe fourth dungeon, I think. But yeah, it was in the dungeon where you got the item to make blocks, the Cane of Samaras, I think.
Cane of Samaria, I think that was, but
one of those words. But yeah, you beat him by, using the blocks as your means to, work out how his puzzle-based boss fight combat works.
Ooh, good luck trying to hit me there. Well, you see, I already know your strategy because we have a guide. Very good. That's right. Go that way.
Kind of a little mini game in your boss fight.
And you combiner.
Make sure you're figuring him out.
So far, so good. And we continue to lay these down, because as he goes faster, it makes it hard for him to charge up. Much like Sonic, your speed has caused your own ruin.
Due to your high speed, your matchup with other fast characters kind of hindered it. Sucks to suck, but you'll figure it out in the next meta. It's all good. So glad when the Nintendo formula works out. Like, you using a spiky thing to take care of that one armadillo is now fully funding your strategy for the boss of this dungeon.
Huzzah! Alrighty, where's me rocket?
Also super fun that we're not using like a lot of monster echoes, a lot of strong monster echoes to just brute force the way through the puzzle. Like, we're using rock. We are using one of the 3 options of rock, paper, scissors to just fully dominate a Zelda top-down boss fight. I fucking love this game.
Yeah. It does make you think in creative ways. Now, granted, that can be a little bit hard on the brain when you're like me and have, severe anxiety and you want to make sure everything's flowing nicely for the Let's Play, but sometimes you just gotta say fuck it and do a retake.
Sometimes there are alternate timelines. Just gotta rub that lucky charm and find the timeline that works out best for you.
Why'd you say lucky charm? Is it because I'm Irish?
No, it was a Barney reference, actually.
Well, okay.
Barney Beekeeper, not the dinosaur.
Such magical things in your world, Mexi.
Well, you know, I've been grinding out a lot of Pokemon games, and the best thing to have in the background for grinding out video games is other people grinding out other things. So I was listening to a lot of videos about people describing their day-to-day lives in World of Warcraft. Never got addicted to it myself, but boy howdy, can I live vicariously through some YouTube videos. Oh yes, I can.
Very good, very good.
It's like, I have no idea how to get an epic mount, nor will I ever will, but I sure as hell watched an edited tetralogy of someone getting one, and, you know, I feel slightly accomplished in that myself.
Huzzah! Oh, Jesus. Right, you come down here. This way. Well, you got there, that's fine as well.
Alright, they're at least on the same side-ish.
Yeah.
If you can block him into that wall, so that way he just at least stays to this left side of the room, and then wait for the little guy to kind of move his way to the left side of the room.
Yeah, we're working on it, we're working on it. Maybe move him down here.
And sometimes it does feel a little picky on whether they'll like latch onto the block and make that their new path, or whether they'll just be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna keep going this way. It's also a little tricky.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey. And now we combat.
Yes. I wonder if other piercing things we have can hurt him.
I feel like other enemies, like the Spear Moblin, are an option too. It's just they have really bad like damage charge up, so you're never gonna really get one off. It's probably a universal thing. It's probably just that spiky things can do the ultimate damage. Which, hey, I'm all down for exploiting that.
Gah, fine. It seems I need more practice. When next we meet, I will emerge the victor. You can count on that. Okay, he clearly exploded. I want it on the record that he evaporated into nothing. Ta-da!
Why would you bring up such a blatantly visible thing that was on the screen there, Tom? That I felt your tone seems very pointed there.
Does it, Mexi?
Much like your spiky Gordo echoes, your tone seems very pointed.
Thank you. Very good. And we are not done yet, because I believe this was a side quest. It wasn't just a mini-dungeon for mini-dungeon's sake.
I mean, there was a little bit of nostalgia trip in there as well, too. I feel both invigorated and both consumed by the wages of time.
Ta-da! You got an ancient charm. This enchanted object from long ago reduces the damage you suffer while wearing it. That's an artifact I found in the Faron wetlands. Be careful with it, okay? Now I can research the temple at long last. I just realised that I learned monsters can talk. Should I mention that in my paper too? Yeah, this dude's entire way of looking at things has just completely changed. Ooh. Interesting.
You could take care of that monster den where the where Shala Shashkala's house used to be.
Ah, yes indeed.
We'll see that boss later. He's reoccurring. Super fun to do that dungeon really early for the damage reducing accessory. You can do it through the smoothies as well too, but this way is one of the best consistent ways to just keep your damage low, especially for early game, before you start racking up more hearts than you know what to do with. As is the Zelda formula. You know, like, you know you're gonna get there.
That blue guy probably would have helped in there, honestly.
There's probably a setup that way to be like, oh, hey, you can go right for the dungeon, or if you go 3 steps to the left, you can get something that helps out. But either way, we're going to have all of these echoes before the Gerudo dungeon, so it's kind of fun that the game already escalates to this point. Yeah, just by doing a couple little side quests that are really not even out of the way, you can start racking up some real Zelda power here. It's also always good to check for the random pots and grasses too, because not just for the money, but for smoothie pickups too, because those are randomly generated. So we'll get stuff in there that'll be like, hey, now we won't get shocked as much in the next dungeon, because there are still more mini dungeons that have shocky enemies that will hit up, and I think there's main ones too. But look, another Link to the Past location. I remember this one.
Yeah, I remember. Do you remember, chat? I knew that was there. I was definitely not just pushing a rock randomly.
Glad you got to see that. Yeah, the might crystals are just hiding under suspicious rocks, suspicious grass. I don't know how to make it any more specific than that. It literally is just what it sounds like. If it looks like it's in a weird place, like an invisible Pokemon item, it might have some might crystals, so best to pick it up.
Very good, very good. What the hell is this? Oh, right.
Little A Link to the Past lore in the manga, because I reread it kind of recently. I think it's super cute that A Link to the Past manga Link, his life dream before all the shenanigans of A Link to the Past is to have the best apple orchard that grows the best apples.
Oh.
Because you have the whole apple eating mechanic that you can just run by and recover a heart with an apple that you bonked off a tree, and yeah, it makes me fully reappreciate that forest that's around the uncle's house in A Link to the Past. I'm like, aw. That's Link's apple orchard, even though that's not true in game lore.
Nice.
Nice bird fight.
You learned the Guay Echo. Is this the fucker who stole shit from you on Milk Road?
Yes, and now that he's in your hands, he's still shit for you.
Yes. Yes!
It's kind of the handiest bird echo. The other one's probably the albatross, because the albatross bird can go into water, but this one's awesome because anytime this one hits shit, money appears. So, you know, take your pick.
Ooh, Hyrule Ranch is this way.
It's one of those, it's another, like, free visit area, kind of just whenever. It really opens up once we hit, like, the midway game point, but, you know, it's a tradition.
It's okay, we can just bop hither and thither as we make our way to the desert. What treasures be lying in here?
Yeah, now that we're in the desert, if you keep to the cliff walls, you're going to find a lot of these caves. You're going to find a lot of the like suspicious rocks I mentioned for might crystals. You're going to find most of the treasure. If you keep to like the middle of the desert, it's kind of your like safe path to progress. And then there are some, not roaming, I'd say, but lurking mini bosses out in the desert as well too. So cool shit. Like this is probably like the most fleshed out that the Gerudo Desert has been since like the 3D games.
Neat. You can do it, my bouncing ball of death.
Picking up speed, running out of town. That's your way.
The second best merchandise I'm up, next to Pokemon, I think.
Yeah, you know, I'd give... To me, it's Digimon, though. Digimon hits the emotional cores. Sometimes the merchandise doesn't hit the levels, but in terms of, like, the resonance with myself, definitely Digimon.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't really, in my head at least, count Digimon as one of those sorts of games.
It's not a collect-em-all, but it's definitely the isekai, you know, before we had the genre name, isekai kid gets monster companions, because Monster Rancher had, like, both, where it had the very like soul bonded companion, but also don't you want that soul bonded companion in 89 colors? And so yeah, so it was you had the 90s were wild, y'all.
But this desert seems really big. I wonder where we should start looking. I guess for now we could check out the area with the biggest rift. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh my god. What is that? Help me.
Time for bug fights.
I've seen enough of you fuckers for one lifetime. The Aruda.
Don't be so mean to him, because that might just be your greatest ally here for the next coming minutes.
I see. I thought that was also an echo.
The tumbleweed, you can't echo it, but you can bind to it. Handy tip. And you can reverse bind to it if you want to use the tumbleweed as your main means of transportation in the desert. That's a viable way to get around.
Ooh, a warm pepper. Muy caliente. With apologies to the entirety of the Spanish race.
I was gonna say, what do you mean by muy caliente? What do you mean?
What do you mean, Tom? What do you mean?
But it's all good.
You have one free pass to make fun of me for being Irish.
I mean, look, the Irish are dope. As Puerto Rican, there's a sacred bond in people from an island that keep getting fucked over by other people not on the island. It's like, stop fucking with the island.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Alright, let's go up here. I use my spider to cheat.
This is kind of one of the areas where using Spark to travel is really fun, because even though it does the wall cling effect, if there is no wall, it just keeps moving in a direction, so you can sometimes bind, reverse bind, and then just woo!
Oh yeah, I never thought about that. We can do this. We'll get rid of that rift and take back Gerudo Sanctum.
Yeah.
Rifts have shown up all across the desert ever since our Sanctum got pulled into one. I'm still in shock about the Sanctum. We've got to get rid of the rifts as soon as possible.
It's my favorite all-women race!
How many all-women races do you know, Mexi?
There's not many, but of the ranked ones, the Gerudo are at the tippy top.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
I mean, especially among the Hyrulean ones, which puts them in the default first, but, you know, a win's a win. But even among, like, outside other, like, genres, media genres of, like, Amazonian women's societies, no, the Gerudo are some of my favorite. Like, I couldn't care less about the DC Amazonian women. No, fuck it. The Gerudo are still better.
Fair enough. Alright, still going up here.
Eventually you start hitting the, like, theoretical map wall. You know, it's kind of where Hyrule is like, there's no more of me. There's nothing over there. Oh, look, that's where we started.
Oh, so it is.
We've done a big old loop. So, you know, if it took you a little while to learn the skills, then eventually you could come back here and grab these chests and have a good fun time. But yeah, that's how you get back to this beach.
I keep pressing the wrong bloody button. There we go. Right, so we go north from here. I guess that is a thing. Do I have to talk to everyone?
I don't think so for this part.
I heard the rift in Southern Forest is gone now. I hope the ones here in the desert get fixed up soon too, then maybe we can catch a break.
Yeah.
Our town is west of here. Okay, we have a destination.
Biggest landmark is the Gerudo town to the west. Cave walls are just going to mostly be your side quest material and treasure locations. And then they keep mentioning the biggest rift in the area as well. You can also always bring up your map, and it does show you an accurate location of where the biggest rift is. So
Yeah.
that's also kind of handy. When I saw that like the riffs were like accurately sized on them, I was like, oh, that's cute. That's handy.
Why won't you awaken? Oh, hello.
A smoothie friend.
I would like to make some smoothies. I'm getting a little bit low. I don't need resistance to cold right now.
We won't need that for like a while. That's like the last. That's at the end of the game. So save those, but you know.
Squadla. A refreshing mixed smoothie.
What kind of smoothies do you like, Tom?
Just your basic fruit ones, really. I like berry smoothies.
Ooh, ones that do like a strawberry, blueberry, raspberry?
Yeah, all the berries.
All the berries, just throw them all in there. Cool. I like me a good tropical fruit smoothie. If you can throw in like little bits of pineapple, mango into it. I always ask to have a whole banana in whatever smoothie I get, even if it comes with banana. I'm like, can you just add like a whole nother banana to that bad boy for me? And usually it hits the spot.
Yeah. Sure. This will be disgusting, but I'll make it anyway.
If it ends up making us at least a smoothie, it still at least counts towards the whole 10 recipe goal. It's really just once you make the bottle of piss smoothies where that doesn't even count as like one of the recipes. I thought it would at least count as like one bad recipe, but it doesn't even count as like a recipe. I was like, that's some bullshit, Deku.
It is indeed. You got it.
You asked me to show you what every smoothie could be made. Well, sometimes you gotta deal with the consequences of your curiosity.
I keep making refreshing mixed smoothies. That's okay, they're like my potions. I should make something new, I guess. Give me the most disgusting shit you have, bartender. The unfortunate smoothie. It's a bit chunky, it smells kind of weird, but it's still technically a smoothie.
Homeboy not only spit in that smoothie, he like drank some of it and then re-spit it up. It's bad.
Disgusting.
But yeah, it is kind of silly that some of the smoothies just end up being repeat formulas, and that's where it gets super annoying when you're trying to do like the later quest of making like 20, 30 recipes, and you're like, but everything just makes mixed berries. What more do you want from me, dude?
Yeah, is there like an in-game chart you could look at to tick off what you've done?
I think he has like so all the smoothie recipes are numbered, so there is a smoothie list. So that can give you kind of an idea, just because since they are numbered, most of the first are going to be recipes involving one specific fruit, and it's just kind of the combinations you make with that one. And then it goes to the next fruit, to the combinations you can make with that. So sometimes you can use the number on the recipe, and there might be an in-game actual chart. I just didn't go exploring. I kind of brute forced and was like, I literally just went through and just got a bunch of fruit and just 1v1'd every fruit till I had all the recipes.
I got you, mate. Alright, so we gotta find some flying tiles.
That's gonna be another one of those quests that the cliffs can help you out with.
Nice. What's in here? Hello there, Wanderer. Welcome to the Tough Mango Plant Lab. Here at the lab, we research effective cultivation in preparation for potential food crises. My current field of study is focused on tough mangoes. None of those pussy mangoes, you got it?
Gotta be strong.
Sharing the results of my work should help countless people in the future. There's just one little problem. This mango plant withers as quickly as it grows, so I'm unable to harvest fast enough. I can't compile data if I can't harvest properly. At this rate, I'll run out of funding for my project. Gotta be strong. We're gonna play Mango Rush. Okay, yeah, we spin. Let's go.
How tough can these mangoes be if they die in like a second?
It's all about marketing, PR, you know.
Tough. Well, then I'm just gonna sell tough mangoes too.
Alright, here we go. Spin to win. Gotta be on the ball here.
There's a bunch of levels to do this minigame, and there are upgrades to your spin that you can get that make this minigame fun and a touch easier, but this one, it's a fun one. These early ones are meant to be easily cleared if you just follow the plants and just time your spins.
Follow the butterflies.
I do also really like the minigame music. It's a nice little ditty.
It is. I go tra-la-la-la-la. Thank you for helping me gather such valuable data. Yes.
Did you just experiment on me? She takes a hair sample from Zelda without seeing.
Oh, that's going directly in the smoothie.
Oh god.
Oh, the extra dangerous seeds. I have some vibrant seeds that yield even larger harvests. I had them shelved, but I'll make an exception for you if you want to see them next time. Come harvest whenever you like. I'll be here waiting for you. Nice. I copy your bed. I copy it up.
And an upgrade to our strongest echo. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Curious about my fun? Back before I was deep into my research, I was a pretty serious dancer. I won that golden fan there by placing first in a dance competition judged on elegant choreo. I'd be willing to part with it if you help me out with Mango Rush.
So it's a quest item.
Okay.
Somewhere in this Hyrule, there is a Danpei who builds monsters. I'm using the correct verb here. He builds monsters, and so some of his quests will be like, hey, I need an item and a monster, and then I'll make you this mechanical monster. And so there's a bunch of side quest items that are used as raw mecha echo material. And that's one of them that you can win by doing one of the higher stages of Mango Rush.
Nice. He looks just as shocked as I was that worked.
I was honestly wondering what it was even attacking. It was hiding under the abyss. The oasis gives you the center of the desert. At this point, you can hit this waypoint, and then the Gerudo town, I think, starts everything off.
Get his ass. Wow, that's toned down from the other games.
Yeah, the Re-Dead Scream is pretty OP in this game, but there are some ways to avoid it. You can do cheesy ways like hiding in pots, which I didn't know until the internet showed me. But yeah, usually just hitting him fast enough and overwhelming him and getting him in between his screams.
I got you.
'Cause it's pretty effective on a lot of echoes. Like, you'll have like a Dark Nut just stop because of a Re-Dead Scream in this game. They're pretty boss.
And now it's mine.
And now it's yours to unleash on the world. And now that you have it, it's one of the weakest things in the game. You're gonna find that a lot of things actually really overpower it because its charge-up attack is just so bad. Sorry, them's the breaks.
Oh, I remember this from one of the trailers, I think. Yeah. Tree.
The solution was IKEA all along.
It was... what? Good stuff. The Gerudo part. Just in case your regular part isn't exciting enough.
Or as a reminder too, since the Re-Dead was outside of this area, could be your hint to try it out against it.
True.
Now I'm just thinking like echo conspiracy theories, kind of like, what's the ecology of these echoes? Like, why is that one there? Time to airbend, Tom.
Oh, yes. Where you is? There you is. Oh, hello.
Watch out for stuff that hides in the sand.
Ow. Right in the eye. Right in the eye again.
I do like this part of the game where whatever dungeon you decide to do as your second dungeon, just based on all the echoes that you can get intermediately, whatever you do secondly just kind of feels like this fun, like, not like a breeze, but like you start to really have a good grasp on the mechanic and you're just hitting all of these rooms for just all of these fun ways to destroy the enemies.
Oh, we... Alright, what can we do here? Let's have a look.
There's a lot of things that these guys are susceptible to. Wasn't sure if you were going to go the spiky route, the shocky route, if you were going to just have Peggy the P-Hat hit it. There were a lot of things there, but I do like the bouncy method. I do like Beyblade to win.
I wasn't in an enclosed space, so something that can ricochet. Just seemed like optimal usage though.
The Tornado echo is in and of itself a pretty broken echo as well. The wind attack that it does doesn't really do like a damage, but it does launch things. It can launch enemies, but it can also launch yourself and echoes that you lay down. So you'll see all those fun videos of people using the Tornado echo to launch their bed. They'll make a bed and then have the wind launch the bed, and then the bed just basically flies to a much higher area of Hyrule as a fun little gimmick.